it's Julesy, and I am here to announce that we live in a transracial world. Girl, that's why I blew my hair out, just to get with the times. But first, Shop Smart Brown Girl is having a Mother's Day sale with 15% off any purchase of 2 or more items, and the Felicia Rashad shirt is back just in time for the celebration and for my hair being blown out. But I ride a bike, girl. So no, I did not walk out the salon like this. This is a weekend. It's just been a struggle. But get one for your mama, one for you, one for your sister and your cousin too, cause it is lit. Back to the topic at hand, we have had a black president, a bomb-ass beautiful brown sister as the only first lady I'll ever love. And now we have Nkechi Amara Diallo scamming her way into blackness and landing a role as the head of marketing at Shea Moisture. Let's talk about it, sis. I said in my last Pop Snark that I was going to do a whole video on the Rachel Dolezal interview with a black woman because it was just that great. It was, as I said, the perfect, most gracious either of this white woman's. Ijoma Oluwo did that, hit that, and when I went to do a video on the article, that is absolutely most positively a must read, all I really could do is repeat everything Ijoma had written. It was just that good. Then this Shea Moisture Carfunkel happened, and everyone and their mama on YouTube and the vlogosphere done put themselves in the echo chamber of, oh my, how could they? Well, let's ask Nkechi. She's clearly their marketing director. Remember when Becky, or was it Beth, took down her ponytail and felt the freedom of being a white woman heralded into the natural hair movement? I laughed. I even got my coins up and wrote an article for TheRoot.com highlighting natural hair care companies owned by black women and mentioning how truly ignorant it was for Shea Moisture to tweet their support to the purveyor of misogynistic, ahistorical Black history, Tariq Nasheed. Tariq, who was supposedly in Haiti, must have got a Google alert about his name being mentioned and assumed my article was about him, then scrolled through 2 years worth of my tweets to say that I am anti-black man, I am not black, I date white men. Like, sis, I had to block all his fake Meowed accounts, like a clean 100 of them. Accounts that literally have no more than 50 followers that only tweet Nasheed and harass black women. Oh, and I am a bedwench. How in vogue is it to refer to a black woman by a term that was used by white slave masters to endorse rape? Real cute. This all just rebuffed me in sealing the deal for my criticisms against Shea Moisture, because not only did they put out the most tone-deaf of tone-deaf ads that I have from verifiable sources, no black woman was in a decision-making role as Shea Moisture pursued a polyethnic advertising campaign. Then the founder, Rich Dennis, after offending a legion of black women, hops on the Breakfast Club morning show where no identifiably black woman hosts are on the show. I mean, yes, there's black adjacent Angela Yee, but there is also notoriously daft Charlemagne, who looks up to Tariq Nasheed and published a book about black privilege because yay for respectability politics. Rich Dennis stammered through the interview, and Shea Moisture has issued an apology, and I'm not calling for a boycott. I believe that educating consumers does the best here. And there is several things to think about when considering how to view Shea Moisture. Overall, there is little to no transparency in the beauty and hair industry. Companies can pass as black-owned without even hiring a black woman in executive and senior management suites. Companies pass by hiring black women in executive and senior management suites while hiding that they are not black-owned. What does it mean when we clap and applaud the major brands like Pantene and Dove and Cantu for doing front-facing marketing pointed at black women as they expand into the black market, and then we clap back at independently owned brands like Shea Moisture and Carol's Daughter that seek to compete by expanding their market? For me, personally, how you speak and market to black women in order to collect that black woman coin matters on more than one level. It's not just a singular answer here. Black women need to be hired in leadership roles. It's not just about 1 or 2 black people owning the company and profiting. Black women need to be hired and need to be included in the advertising. Fortunately, the same way that Shea Moisture came up is the same way we are able to support the more transparent brands that are headed up by black women and invest greatly in their core audience. For me with Shea Moisture, it's always been a question about their lack of black women outside of the HR department in senior roles. On the flip, I haven't thought too much about it because Shea Moisture does invest a lot in the black community. They were one of the only brands that would pay a fair and equitable rate for sponsorships early on. I do believe the natural hair girls on the interwebs are so undervalued compared to all the dough cosmetic companies throw into their influencers. but Shea Moisture did and does good in that arena. When none of our YouTube networks were paying any mind to Essence Festival, Shea Moisture was the one that brought influencers out. My time in the natural hair scene, they were very accessible and very supportive when I was consistently being snubbed by other companies. Girl, I could do a whole anti-haul video and it wouldn't be nothing past messy. All that to say, I'm not mad or looking sideways at Mr. Dennis when he makes that claim that Shea Moisture has invested in the community. I might look at him sideways when he claims transparency about the communities from Ghana they source their shea butter from. But then I would have to hang ethical globalization over everyone's head, and I ain't got time for that today. On point here, Shea Moisture has definitely invested a lot, but they are also the top performing brand on the shelves, blowing folks out the water by large margins. Their brand identity largely hinges on the support and advocacy that Black women have done for them. And they've been very good at how they respond in kind until they went to diversify and expand their market. I don't even take issue with them bringing in Bain Capital as investors. Business is business, but after all this time, there should absolutely be a Black woman executive in the marketing and advertising department. For all the investments Shea Moisture has done, they are not past being criticized and called out for sidestepping. I know the advertising agency they worked with. There were no Black women on this project. And this story about viewing all the pieces but not viewing them as standalones, that just doesn't make sense in accord with how the review process goes. Especially when social media is such a big deal and that reduces clips to 30 to 60 seconds as standalone pieces. That you thought to throw a narrative in about a white woman with blonde hair going through hair hate? Come on, sis, you tried it. Shea Moisture has been expanding for a minute now, especially within the Latina community. And they've been doing it fine, but this move from the ethnic to the general beauty aisle, they were real slick last year with their advertising. This year, they went full out, we want you, Becky. And I just don't understand why wasn't a Black woman included in the process, sis? This needs to be fixed ASAPidly. And honestly, I thought if they fixed that this whole situation wouldn't hurt them that much. And I still don't think Shea Moisture will be hurt in the long run. Now, supporting a Black woman hater and not offering an apology for that means that Shea Moisture supports the ideology of Tariq Nasheed, and I cannot get down with that. The amount of homophobia and Black woman blaming that man perpetuates is damning to the whole of Shea Moisture's core audience. I can't mess with them as long as they're slurping up that Kool-Aid. I'll leave you to decide what type of consumer you want to be. Your dollar matters. Decide where to place it. Deuces.